the last video, we learned how to write functions and how to call these functions. I want to point out a few things right now when we're defining functions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a function. Let's write a function that calculates rectangle area. Just call it rectangle. And what it does, it takes the length and width of a rectangle, and it calculates two things. So it's going to calculate the area. So area of a rectangle is length times width, and the perimeter of a rectangle is 2 times length plus width. So if you add the length and width, you get half of the rectangle. You multiply that by 2, you get the perimeter. And let's have it return area and perimeter. Now let's write another function that does the same but for a square. Okay, and so a square has only one side, and so the area is side times side, which is side squared, so side to the power 2, and the perimeter is 4 times the side. Okay, now let's come here to main, and let's just try in main printing area. We have to call the method. So let's call calc square, for example, and give it a square of side 3. And let's try printing area. You guys think this will work? It won't work, but I want you to pause the video and think for a second, why will this not work? So here, when we run it, well, it won't work because here I have a typo. So let's fix that. That was not what I was looking for. There's another issue with main. Let's try it again. So here, it's complaining that in line 15, which is this line, main, line 15 called line 13. There's line 13, the print line, and I'm trying to print area, and it says area is not defined. So just because I called calc square here has area, why doesn't main see that variable? Why doesn't main see the area that was created in the calc square function? Now, this is also similar to if I say, for example, if I say x equal, let's put it at the top of main. If I say x equal to 10, and then I print x, comment this code out for a second. I see that it's telling me 10. Now, if I try putting this line above, do you guys think this will work? Let's try it. It doesn't work. It says here at line 12, it's complaining about line 12, local variable x referenced before assignment. It's telling us that you're trying to use x without assigning it a value. And of course, if I don't have it at all, I don't have this line there at all, it's not going to also work, right? Because you can't use a variable without defining it. And you can't define a variable after you've used it. You have to define it first before using it. So this is wrong because I can't say print x when I don't have a value in x. So this is called, the concept that I'm trying to explain to you is called scope, the scope of a variable. And basically scope refers to when a variable gets created in RAM and when it gets deleted. So here in main, when main gets started up, main gets some space in RAM. Okay. And then now I'm saying print x, but in the space for main, there's no x, so nothing's going to happen. And then we say x equal 10. So what we should do, of course, is put x here at the beginning and then say print x. So here when x equal 10 is created, main now has a variable called x that's called 10. Now if I was to come to other methods and use that same variable x, or here, for example, in main, when I'm trying, here I'll say, for example, area and perimeter. So here in main, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create two variables, area and perimeter. And so here we have area and perimeter. And right now they don't have anything because we're going to still set the value to calc square. So when calc square gets called, the first space, RAM space that's going to get created is side, because that is what the argument is. So first variable inside calc square is side, and main called it with the value 3. So the 3 gets copied into side. So now side is 3. And then it has two more spaces, one for area and one for perimeter, that get created. So here I say area is side squared, so 3 squared is 9. And the perimeter is 4 times the side, which is 12. Notice here that main has an area and perimeter variable, and calc square also has a perimeter and an area variable. These are called local variables. Okay, they are local to this function. Every function can have its own local variables, and every function can use the same names for local variables as other functions, and it's okay. No function will see the code for the other function. No function will see the variables that the other function created. So here, main didn't see the variables that were in calc square, and that's why before I put this code in, it crashed. It didn't work. See, when I run it, it complains that it can't find area. See, it says area not defined, because here it doesn't see the area that is in calc square. So the nice thing about those variables is that each function can have its own variable names, and those variable names can be like not unique. So everyone in the world can use the variable name X and Y and ABC, and it's okay. You're not going to worry about, you don't have to worry about other functions having that variable name, using that variable name, because any variable that you create in your function is just local to your function. Other code in other functions doesn't see it. Okay, so that's the concept that I wanted to explain to you today, local variables. So here, if we look at this code, it's similar to what we had. I have main, which has a call to apple and banana. Apple has a variable called calories. Banana has a variable called 105. It doesn't matter. These are two different variables. They exist in two different RAM spaces. One that belongs to calories under apple, and one that belongs to calories under banana. Okay, so these are called local variables. The other thing that I showed you in the video is that you cannot use a variable until this variable has been created and given a value. So this code will give you an error. I can't print calories if I don't have calories with a value in it. So scope just refers to when does a variable become created in RAM? When is it born? When is it available for others to use?